My name is Doug Aiton and we're doing another YouTube video today. Today we are doing Dougie's famous tri-tip, something I've done for years. You'll notice I've got my Italian apron on today. This is in honor of my in-laws who taught me how to marinate my meat like this. Today, again, we're doing tri-tip. I've got a couple of tri-tip roasts here, but I do this same marinade on ribeyes. I do it on New York's. I do it on chicken. I do it on pork. It's real easy. I've put some salt on the meat, freshly ground pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and I buy this by the gallon almost because I use so much of it. Lots of rosemary. I like to take my dried rosemary and get it on there. And I took I took about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, and I press that garlic into the meat, and then I just rub it into the meat. So I've got all of these ingredients working together on the meat. I'm going to let it sit for about an hour, get it to room temperature, which is going to give us time to go outside. I'm going to show you how to light the charcoal without charcoal fluid. See you outside. All right, here we are out by the barbecue. As I've said before in other videos, I don't like to cook with anything other than mesquite charcoal. I'll also use oak sometimes, but be careful when you go to the store to buy your mesquite. Sometimes you will see mesquite flavored charcoal briquettes. That's not the same thing. It's a charcoal briquette with a little bit of mesquite flavor. Nothing like the real deal that comes in big chunks like this. So I've already laid those out on the grill here. The other thing I want to talk about is how to light the fire. In years past, I used to simply take my newspaper, wad the newspaper up, stick it underneath the grate, put a match to it, and I was often successful, but a few times I wasn't as successful, particularly when you're at the higher elevations. So what I do now is I take my newspaper. I'm doing this from my good buddy Jeff Meyer. Thank you, Jeff. A little bit of canola oil or vegetable oil. I'll drizzle that in the middle of the newspaper before I crumble it up and stick it under the coals. So those are two things that are real important, in my opinion, out here at the barbecue when you're cooking with charcoal. Number one is the quality of the charcoal, and number two, how you light that. Do not use lighter fluid. It's going to do a terrible job, and it's going to put a flavor on your meat and a lot of chemicals you don't want to do that. So newspaper, canola oil, real mesquite or oak. We're going to light this baby. I'm going to let it burn for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll come out and check it, and then we'll put our meat on the fire there. So we just lit it. I'll see you in a few. All right, here we are outside again. It's been about 25 minutes on these coals. They are perfectly ready. You can always tell when you put your hand over the coals. If you can hold it there for about 3 to 5 seconds, that was hot. And again, this mesquite burns really hot. What I've done is I put the coals off to one side. I'm going to put the meat on one side. I've got a tray of roasted potatoes. Again, I really love these roasted potatoes. What I've done is flavored those with salt, rosemary, and olive oil. 3 of my favorite things. I'm going to put those in a tray here and just let those roast for the same amount of time that I'm going to be doing the tri-tip, which is about 40 minutes, 20 minutes on each side. So again, I'm going to do the tri-tip, the direct method, right above the coals. I'm going to put the big one on first. Look at that piece of meat. Doesn't that look good? And listen to that sizzle. A little bit of flare, but I'm not too concerned about that because I'm about to put the lid on. We're going to put the lid on, cook it. I'm going to stay out here and make sure we don't have too many flare-ups, but this should cook really well for the next 40 minutes. And again, I'm going to come in. I'm going to stay close by, but I'm probably going to turn it at about 20 minutes. I'll turn that piece of meat. You want 20 minutes on each side. So I'm going to do that. You will have yourself a glass of wine, and I'll see you shortly. Okay, here we are outside at the barbecue again. It has only been about 32, 33 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take the meat off because this fire was really hot. Again, as I explained in one of my earlier videos, you never want to lift the lid off a Weber because that'll just suck the ashes right up into your meat. So you want to twist the lid, take it off like that. Ooh, we got 2 really nice roasts right there. I'm going to take these off early, but I'm going to leave the roasted potatoes on there just a few minutes longer. As I take these off, oh, look at that. That is looking sweet. Again, I'm going to leave these on, the roasted potatoes on there. I'm going to wrap these roast in foil. I've got the oven heated at about 200 degrees or so. I'm going to wrap these in foil, put them in the oven, let them rest there at about, it might not be 200, it might be 150, 175 or so. I'm going to let them rest about 30 minutes before I actually cut them. Something I learned a few years ago, again from my good buddy Jeff, you never want to cut your tri-tip this way, you want to cut it horizontally this way. It gives you a nice lean flavor. So that's Dougie's famous tri-tip. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy grilling. Send me an email if you've got any questions or if you have any tips. That's bbqwithdoug@gmail.com. bbqwithdoug@gmail.com. Happy grilling. See ya.
Goodbye, goodbye to Rome.